In this lesson, I want to talk about nonverbal communication, specifically as it pertains to dating. There are so many books written about body language, but none of them deal specifically with dating situations. Now, there are two books that I highly recommend. One is What Everybody is Saying. It's by a former FBI agent. And the other body language book that I really liked was this one, specifically because it has a lot of interesting pictures that you can actually see inside that gives you a visualization of what that body language pattern looks like. In dating, there are two categories of nonverbal communication. The first skill set is your ability to control your own body language and have mastery over it to convey attraction, comfort, connection. The second category is your ability to read a woman's body language and to kind of assess how she's feeling and perhaps even what she's thinking at that time. These two nonverbal cues give you the power to, number one, control your own state and energy and communication, and to be able to anticipate what the woman might do or what she's feeling and what she's thinking as she's interacting with you. As the saying goes, losers react, winners anticipate. When you start out, you're not going to have both of these skill sets. In the beginning, I recommend you master your own body language first. Once you can control your own nonverbal communication well, then you start observing other people, guys and girls, and trying to read what they're feeling, what they're thinking, and to create that feedback loop where when you do something, they respond nonverbally in a certain way. And you can get to a point where you can almost guess what the other person's thinking. And it's almost like a superpower. If you've ever watched the show Lie to Me, it's actually based on the work of Dr. Paul Ekman, and he spent decades researching nonverbal communication, specifically focusing on the microexpressions of the face. Microexpressions are a fraction of a second facial cues that suggest very highly to the researchers what emotion the other person is thinking. They've been able to use microexpressions in lie detection, witness interviews, and guess what? You can also use it for dating. Learning how to read microexpressions by slowing down the video and playing it fast again is a subject with enough content for another video at another time. Let's talk about controlling your own body language. There are generally three pillars for a guy to have really good, attractive body language. The first is your gaze. This is the window to your soul, your eyes. The way I look at women is different than most men because I'm not sexualizing the interaction. I'm simply admiring her beauty the same way I admire a work of art. Like, I like that you got ready for me. I like that you look beautiful. I appreciate that, but no more and no less. So where I give her credit for getting ready, putting her makeup on, dressing well, I don't make it any more than it is. And I don't deny it either. A lot of guys who are really nervous will kind of be fidgety and denying, like, no, yeah, you're cute, but I'm not gonna say anything. I say, hey, thank you for getting ready for me. You look nice today. She's gonna go on a date with me to look good. Of course, I'm gonna give her a reward for that. So the way you look at women is really important. I have a lot of different facial expressions, but these are two I generally use in dating situations. One is, I appreciate you, thank you. And then the other one is where I'm intently listening. And in this case, my facial expression is neutral. I'm not negative or positive. I'm literally just listening to her intently, without assessment, without judgment, okay? It kind of looks like this. You can throw in a little bit of empathy there, but don't do it too much, otherwise it looks like you're sympathizing with that person. Aside from your eye contact, the second thing you want to focus on is your voice tonality. Now, as we know, your words only convey 7% of your communication. The tonality in which you use the words convey 30%. The rest of it is the nonverbal, how you stand, how you move, everything from your head to your toe. Again, that subject, there's enough content there for 3 more videos. For now, just focus on your eye contact, your voice tonality, and for your body, one advice I have for you are the directions I actually learned from studying the Alexander technique. So as my teacher would tell me, first, free the neck, because your neck controls the rest of your body. Second direction is shoulders open and apart. Your back lengthening and widening. And the fourth step is your knees slightly forward and to the side. And all of this you want to do not by tightening certain muscles, but by actually relaxing all of your muscles. So you gain length and strength through release of muscles rather than the contraction of muscles. By doing it this way, you always look like you're relaxed, like you always lean back, right? Or you're always at ease with yourself. And when you take photographs this way, when you're doing your online dating photos in this way, all of the poses that you strike look a lot more natural. This is the same technique I used to have a very distinct runway walk when I was modeling. It's the same way I get more organic photographs as I started to practice my posing. Then we have the reading side, the women's side of nonverbal communication. Again, worth another 5 more videos. Here's the general guideline. What I look for in women are these two things: body language clusters and baseline body language. A body language cluster is when you see her do a couple of different poses in different scenarios, and what you start to see is a pattern of behavior. For example, some people will see a girl with her arms crossed like this, and the novice body language reader will assume that she is disinterested or she's angry, right? But an expert body language reader will be like, well, let's look at her clusters. Her hands are crossed, but are her feet open and wide? Is her head tilted forward, interested, or is she kind of looking the other way? So you look for these clusters and patterns to determine, is she crossing her arms because she's cold? Or is she crossing her arms because she's disinterested? Clusters come from the number of reads that you can have from head to toe, the time interval durations. I can read her once at a coffee shop, once when she's standing outside the coffee shop. You get a much better read when you look for these patterns. A body language baseline is everyone has a different baseline. So if someone's always very kind of contracted and they're kind of tilting over like this, it's easy to assume that they're not interested in you. But sometimes girls are just naturally like that. Other girls are always very high energy. Hey, how's it going, Giovanni? It's great to meet you. But she's like that with everyone, so you assume that she's interested in you. You read that as an indicator of interest. But in reality, she's like that with everyone, so she's just talking to you just like another person. That's why it's so important, even in lie detector tests, to establish what that person's baseline is. And from that baseline, you look for clusters, okay? These two concepts are really important because they're going to determine whether or not what I teach you now actually works. You can tell when a girl is interested in you generally when she maintains eye contact and has a slight head tilt like this, okay? You'll see girls usually play with their hair a lot when they're interested in the guy they're talking to. Her voice pitch will be a little bit higher, a little bit more feminine. We have noticed that at clubs in particular, girls that are standing next to, let's say, a girl and a girlfriend, if they're standing with their feet pointed like this towards each other, those conversations, when you come in, it's a lot harder to break because your feet is always pointing to what you unconsciously want. But we found that when girls are talking this way, two girls, and it's 45 degrees, feet facing this way, when a guy comes in, they're a lot more receptive, right? Because you can tell just by looking at where their feet's pointed, where they actually want to go. Studies have shown that people that want to exit the room, that want to use the bathroom, their feet are usually pointing towards the door. Another really cool hack is I've found that by looking at a girl's expressions, a really cool phrase I can say is, listen, I'm not here to, I don't want anything from you. I'm not hitting on you. I just thought you might be an interesting person. So when I preempt that and I can see her micro expressions start to change, I just say something that's a disqualifier, which means I'm not here for anything. I don't want anything from you. I just like meeting interesting people. And so if I say that, I preempt that before she has an objection, it's a lot likely to take that pressure off and for me to get somewhere with her. So this is the power that you can have when you can read nonverbal cues. When you combine your ability to read a girl's cues and your ability to control dominant, attractive masculine body language, the things that you say, the tonality in which you say it, right? It oscillates up and down, up and down, up and down. Then, if you use the lines that you can download using the link in the description below, when you use these lines, when you have this nonverbal down, the lines work so much better, exponentially better in fact, because now your nonverbals are congruent with the words that you're actually using. It took me about 1 year to really master my nonverbal communication skills. And naturally, I'm still a little bit more feminine, as you can tell from my TikTok comments and YouTube comments. But I've adapted in a way where if I was in a dating situation, I know how to control my body and use it in a way that's effective enough to get the result that I want, right? The goal here is not to change who you are as a person. The goal here is to give you the tools you need to adjust certain things so that you can convey your best self within that dating context. If you want to learn more about body language, nonverbal communication, the power of style, your ability to just walk into a room and command that instant attraction, you may want to check out my course, Seduce with Style. It is a master course. I spent a lot of effort and skill developing this course. And in this course, you'll learn everything from what women find most attractive in a man's look, how to style that, no matter how your physical looks are. I've had clients who are bald, short, really skinny, still succeed in dating their dream girls. I teach you how to take photographs properly, how to optimize your online dating funnel by creating this image. I teach you how to pick out outfits affordably, how to get designer brand clothes for cheap. I teach you how to create your own lookbooks. I teach you how style is more than just how you look or the clothes you wear. It's about how you communicate and your behavior patterns. And I give you the basically attraction cycle from good style to good communication to the moment she hooks and she really likes you. So everything in this course deals with that. I even have an extra chapter for dating models because I was fortunate enough to have the experience to do that. Not every guy is going to become a model by studying this course, but I guarantee you, no matter where you are now, however short, skinny, overweight, whatever physical detriments that you think you have, this works because your look is more important than your looks in dating, especially as a guy. And your style is one of those things that you can change in one weekend if you know exactly what to do. You can check out my free YouTube videos on style. There are plenty of them, but this course in particular takes you step by step through that cycle. So no matter who you are now, what your physical attributes are, you know exactly what to do step by step, okay? I hope this lesson was useful. I gave you basically the tip of the iceberg here as far as body language, nonverbal cues go for men and how to read women. The subject goes so in depth, I can make 20 other videos about it. Or you can jump into Seduce with Style and learn most of this stuff. Of course, there are other body language channels that are not bad. You just have to filter out the ones that really know what they're talking about. So remember the concepts I taught you: body language clusters, body language baseline, your 3 pillars of nonverbals, your eye contact, your voice tonality, and the rest of your body. Remember how to relax and let go of the bracing that our bodies naturally have when we're nervous or things appear to be high stake. And this will really improve your dating life. One last thought I'll leave you with is the idea of flinching. So in the beginning, a lot of guys that start coaching with me, they'll flinch. We call these honest signals, right? You're next to a girl that is extremely beautiful that you've never met in person before, and her face is literally flawless. This actually happened to me when I got to LA. And you literally have these little expressions where you can't control, just like you're a little bit nervous, right? In fact, in human history, we've never had girls this beautiful before with all the advancements in plastic surgery, makeup, photo editing, etc. And these tips are gonna help you. And over time, what you'll discover is that the level of flinching goes down and it becomes more normalized, okay? And when it becomes normalized, that's when you can really relate to these girls in a way that's like really attractive because you're no longer fazed by it. Instead, you admire it like a beautiful piece of artwork and you don't give it any more value than it's worth and you don't take away value from it. And this is a key secret for those of you that are more ambitious, that you want to go after the highest level, highest competition girls. This is one of the key factors, which is the flinching behavior, how to gradually eliminate those behaviors and those automatic twitches, and basically transform your honest signals to one of just congruence with the fact that you are used to girls like that in your life. And once that happens, that comes through your nonverbal communication. It doesn't matter if you're alone with no friends, just the way you walk in, the way you handle yourself over time, the attraction goes up over time rather than goes down over time for most guys. Most guys, it's like, I have a window of opportunity. If I miss it, oh no, I lost it. But with me and my clients, it's like, the more time she spends with me, the more the attraction goes up because our nonverbals are so congruent, okay? If you want more help with this, again, check out the course. You can also do one-on-one training with me online. And just recently now, if you want to train with me in person, you can do that as well. Follow the links in my bio if you want this opportunity, and I'll see you in the next lesson.